welcome to the North Shore Schools Foundation All In for Kids event. I'm Jake Wittenberg, King 5 morning anchor, proud parent here in this wonderful school district. Don't we have a great school district? I just love North Shore. We are so proud of our school district. I'm proud of my school. Our principal is here. Where's Miss Bowers tonight? Miss Bowers, this is the first party I've ever been at with my principal before. Where is she? We'll chat later. She's usually one of the last to leave. No. This is the 4th year I've been asked to be here, and I'm just honored to be involved. Yeah, give me a round of applause. No. Every year is a little bit different. We kind of had a bump there in the road with COVID, but the goal is always the same. Drink as much red wine as we can on the way to the Mariners game tonight. It is opening day for the Mariners, by the way. How cool is that? I mean, go Mariners, I gotta say it. Now, I am here today with Patsy Treese, the foundation president, and 3 members of the Youth Advisory Board we'll introduce you to in a second. We're just honored to be here because this is all about the kids. And get this, since 1995, $3.4 million has gone to kids and teachers from this foundation. Isn't that amazing? $3.5 million. That's from you. As any good news anchor, I have to bring good news and a balance of possibly some bad news. The good news, last year, 70 grants were awarded to teachers, $72,000 directly to teachers to help our students. 1,600 students have received backpacks and supplies that are in need. But the bad news is these are some tough economic times. I have to tell you, as we cover the schools around the region, it is a difficult time for funding. And of course, the foundation feels that. So that is why we're here. We can help solve that. We can help bring the money to these teachers who so deserve it. All right, I want to introduce my 3 new friends up on the stage here tonight. Clara from Inglemoor, Annabelle from Bothell High School, and Tanya, come on up as well. Tanya from North Creek just told me, can I get a selfie? It's like, sure. She goes, I've been watching you since I was 2. Thanks, Tanya, for watching. Appreciate it. Well, what about those table centers, too? Let's touch on those. Some of them are a stress relief. I know these can be stressful times. We invite you to take those home with you tonight. Share them with the students if you'd like. These are from the Innovation Lab High School Kindness Club. Isn't that cool? We love the Innovation Lab High School. Take them home if you wish. Whatever is left is going to be donated to the Kindness Club as well. But I want to also say thank you to the Golden Ticket members, the holders who've been actively supporting the foundation for the last few months. Many have already donated towards our goal here tonight, and before we even get started, we're at 47% of our goal tonight. So we got 53%, right? We're the math teachers in the room. 53% left of our goal tonight, so let's keep this going. To the first-timers, have fun tonight. This is all for the students. This is all for the teachers. Let's make it great. Patsy, I'm going to send it over to you. Take it away.
Put the mic way up there. I asked him, did he have to be so tall? But I want to thank everybody for coming, and I'd also like to recognize the elected officials and school board members who are here. School board, and I saw you guys, so I know you're here. So could you please stand up and be recognized? Thank you very much. And elected officials? Anybody here that's an elected official? Anybody? Yay. All right. Thanks so much, and thanks so much for all you do and for being here with us, all in for kids. The other thing I'd like to do is to thank the wonderful volunteer staff that got this room to look beautiful. They set up the food, the drinks. I know the wine and the beer are really popular. And go ahead, because we found that loosens your wallet. So help yourself to the booze, you guys. Let's see. We come together at this time of year to support students and public education, and the donations we receive determine the level of support that we'll be able to give during the next year. So we do count on your generosity. And some historical information, if things had stayed normal and we hadn't had COVID, this would have been our 20th year for All In for Kids. Some of you old timers, and I count myself among them, might remember whenever it was Light a Fire for Learning. And I know Rob remembers that, so I'm not the only person in the room. 20, yep, okay. Let's see, the font is just a tiny small here. But because we asked people to bring a friend and we're kind of getting back in the swing of things, we wanted to start kind of at baseline to kind of introduce you to what our mission is. And to do that, actually, before I do that, I want to have my fellow board members stand, because without these board members, and I know who you are, and I know you're here, so stand up. They put all the little things together. And there are board members who are still sitting down. I'll get even with you. Let's see, and let me go. Let's see. So I'm proud to say, and Jake's already kind of stolen my thunder here, that the foundation has contributed $3.4 million, which is amazing. Our budget nowadays, compared to what it was back in 1995, is quite a bit different. We've got 3 funding priorities, and instead of me being real boring telling you what they are, I'm going to ask these lovely ladies to give us the information about all of our different programs. So Clara, Annabelle, and Tanya, will you please introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Annabelle Hoft, and I'm a junior at Bothell High School. Go Cougs! I'm actually a legacy of North Shore School District. I know her as mom, but you may know her as Principal Hoft is somewhere. Oh, she's right there. She's right there, and I wanted to thank her for giving me this opportunity, but also all of you for coming and listening to us today, so thank you.
Hi there, good evening. My name is Tanya Bandari. I'm currently a junior at North Creek High School, and it is such an incredible honor to be up here in front of you all tonight. I've been part of the North Shore School District my entire life, and I'm so incredibly grateful and indebted to all the students, staff members, and community members that have made this journey possible so I could be up here tonight with you fine people. So have a wonderful night, and thank you for being here.
Hi everyone, my name is Clara Zhang and I'm from Inglemoor High School. I've been learning with the North Shore School District since I was in first grade, and I'm very grateful for the abundant of opportunities the North Shore School District has provided me. I'm very happy to share with you the goals of the Foundation Board tonight.
Thank all of you. Our Youth Advisory Board is amazing. So I'm going to start it off with Annabelle, and I'm going to say, tell us about the Foundation's Enhance and Inspire program.
So the Enhance and Inspire priority is about amplifying the work that the district is doing to help students reach academic excellence. Specifically, this priority is about the grants from the community, and that's all of you. The grants go to the classroom, teachers, the educators, and to the district. And these grants supply more than just money. They are the difference between teachers dreaming what's possible and the reality of actually making it happen.
Great. Can you share any fun facts with us?
In 2022, the foundation funded 70 classroom grants, and that's a total of 28 schools, which was $72,000, being the highest ever in a year. And they also provided support for mental health counselors at every elementary school and provided 15 refurbished instruments for their students, which is great.
Those of you who know me know that I'm kind of passionate about music education, but Annabelle, do you have a favorite grant?
My favorite grant is a little bit different from yours, but it's from Arrowhead Elementary, and it was from 2007. The foundation funded $1,000 for the therapeutic horseback riding program, which I thought is super cool and unique. The program specifically gives students with special needs an outlet to gain confidence, gain self-control, and increase their ability to perform academically.
Thanks so much, Annabelle. Clara, what can you tell the fine people here about removing barriers?
The Removing Barriers priority of the Foundation is about removing barriers for students who are experiencing barriers to learning. It helps make sure that every student has a chance to reach their potential, regardless of their abilities, learning styles, cultural background, or economic circumstances. Programs include the Opportunity Fund, Basic Needs Aid, Homelessness Services, and Student Meals.
Can you share with us what kind of barriers students might face today?
Yeah, of course. The foundation actually offers personalized support for each student. This may look like anything from money for school supplies. The foundation offers backpacks for kids in the fall, to no electricity to plug in devices at home or one-time assistance to turn the power back on. When a student can't afford things needed to participate in a class, scholarships from the foundation are also available. If a student is surfing couches, the foundation helps get them food and hopefully find them a safe place to land. Donations to the foundation remove these types of barriers for students.
And what do you think life would be like for these students if the foundation wasn't there to remove the barriers?
Without these programs, students in the district would be limited based on their family's economic circumstances. More than 200 North Shore students experience homelessness, and these programs help alleviate various struggles so that students can maintain their quality education.
Thank you. Now, Tanya, what can you tell us about the Skills for Life priority?
Sure, Patsy. So the Skills for Life priority is the Foundation's initiative to help students be successful and ready for life after we graduate.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
So obviously, a large part of serving students is meeting their needs as they grow in their journeys throughout high school, but equally as important is setting them up for success after high school. I remember Back to Career Days hosted at our middle schools that the foundation co-sponsored with the PTA, and in fact, this year, they worked together on the online college fair. The foundation also supports the adulting curriculums at our high schools, which foster a lot of independent and learning habits in students. Before the pandemic, the foundation hosted a life skills conference called Launch Day, and during the pandemic, they kicked off the Skills for Life podcast that had over 30 episodes of interviews with people from jobs that will likely be hiring when we graduate.
Which would be great to get a job after graduation. Yeah. That's what I keep telling my kids. Get a job, move out of the basement. And what is your favorite part of the Skills for Life priority?
Oh, see, that's a question that doesn't need to be asked because it's the Youth Advisory Board, of course. The Youth Advisory Board is an incredible initiative by the North Shore Schools Foundation that brings together student leaders like us from the diverse set of high schools in our district and allows us the opportunity to advocate for the needs of our students and staff with a large amount of support.
Well, thank you, Tanya, and thank you, ladies, for giving us that great overview of what the foundation does. Thank you very much.
Wait, Miss Patsy, I think there's one more unofficial pillar. It's community. The foundation is a place where the community can come together and truly support students and teachers.
Well, you have that right, and that's what you all are. You are our community, supporting the community, and we really appreciate that. I think on that happy note, I'm going to turn it over to you women.
The foundation is a place where the community and businesses can offer partnerships with schools, and we want to take a few minutes to thank our event sponsors and our annual sponsors for the difference they make.
All In for Kids event sponsors stepped up to show their support for this event by not only providing a collective $44,000 to reaching our goal, but also by underwriting this event. That means if you make a donation today, 100% of your donation will go straight to the foundation. So let's first thank our presenting sponsor, OAC. When we call out your company, please give the audience a little wave, and as for you, audience and guests, please hold your applause till the end. Thanks again, OAC.
Thank you to our Educate Level sponsors, Ameri Group, Banner Bank, Dykeman, Huddleball and Aramis, McDonald Miller, Perkins Coie, North Creek Storage, and Yakima Fruit Market.
Thank you to our learning level sponsors. Please wave or stand when we call your name. Bombastic, Coughlin Porter Lundeen, The Cottage, Element 7, Elevation Cellars, Goose Ridge Winery and Estates, Integris, King 5, Milne Electric, Northwest Playground, Pacific Mobile, Snapdoodle Toys, and WBC Advisors. We are so grateful for our community level sponsors listed on the screen. Okay, now you can clap.
Annual sponsors are a very important part of the foundation family. Their annual donations of more than $7,500 of general fund make it possible for the foundation to operate and support students all year round. Just like last time, I'm going to ask you to wave if you are here representing, and guests, please hold your applause if you can.
Thank you, Cornerstone, for being our largest corporate sponsor at the empowerment level. You donated over $20,000 to support our students.
Thank you, Microsoft, for being an Innovate Level annual sponsor.
Thank you to our $10,000 impact level annual sponsors: Chick-fil-A, the Lodge at St. Edward's, Evergreen Church, and Entra Marketing Group.
Thank you, Inspire Level annual sponsors, for your support of more than $7,500. Alexa's Cafe, Brent Planning Solutions, McKinstry and Marketplace Sotheby's. Okay, time to clap again.
There's one more group we would like to thank. Our Ignite Society is a group of special donors who donate early at a significant level in order for us to provide a challenge match fund to inspire you to give as part of this event.
The Ignite Society would like to offer you a challenge. As an individual, if you make a donation today of $365, $1 a day for kids, the Ignite Society will match it 100%. If you are willing to make a donation of $1,000, it will be matched 200%. And if you work at a company that offers matching funds for employees giving, please request that you match so that your impact can be doubled, tripled, or even quadrupled to help our kids.
Great job, ladies. Our future is in good hands, am I right? Come back. We'd like to say that they wrote this, but this whole thing has been written by ChatGPT, actually. So, sorry, no. I also want to take a quick moment, and if you have some applause left in you, this is a record number of educators that we've ever had at this event. Will you all please stand up? All of you educators, stand up. This is about you tonight. We want to say a quick thank you so much for all you do. Look at this, right? How cool is that? I love it. Very cool. Very cool. We also want to honor the volunteers tonight. The foundation is a volunteer-led organization, and they're bringing back the tradition of a Volunteer of the Year. We want to honor a Volunteer of the Year tonight. There are 100 active volunteers with this organization, and here are the 2022 Volunteer of the Year finalists. And the winner is...
Currently opening my pseudo envelope, Hanisha Bakshani.
Hanisha's been an ambassador to the foundation for many years, and this year took on the role of ambassador communication lead. She works diligently to share information out to the ambassadors at each school and to help recruit and orient new ambassadors, sometimes filling in for schools without an ambassador. Hanisha would like to say a couple of words here this evening. Take it away.
Thank you so much for this honor. It has been an amazing experience volunteering with the foundation. Thank you so much.
We could not do it without all of the volunteers. Thank you so much. We also want to show the nominees tonight for another award we have this evening. It's the Innovative Educator of the Year nominees. In the past, we've honored Deb Fullerton from Morelands Dana Plant from Kenmore, Robert Morgan from SAS, and Trudy Swain from North Shore Middle School. This year, we received several nominations, as you can see on the screen, and the winner is
Holly Herbison.
Holly Herbison. Holly's a librarian at Kenmore Middle School. Unfortunately, Holly could not be here tonight, but she put together a quick video. Draw your attention to the screen.
My name is Holly Ferguson, and I am the teacher librarian at Kenmore Middle School. This recognition of an innovative teacher very much feels like receiving an award for the school, for the staff that I work with every day. You know, if I'm considered an innovator, it's because the teachers and staff at Kenmore Middle School are innovators. So one of the projects that we do here are what are called Injustice Lit Circles that we do with our 8th grade ELA students. And the idea was that students would have the opportunity to express voice and choice by having a variety of books that they could choose from and read about an injustice that spoke to them or that was of interest to them. And they end up looking through 11 or 12 different sets of mini collections, looking for books that pique their interest, and then I pair them with that book. They're going to hear about other injustices and other students' stories and points of view in their lit circles. It's important for students to see themselves reflected in stories because then they see what's possible for themselves. The phrase representation matters is very powerful for us. It's something that we think about all the time because, again, if a student doesn't see themselves in the books around them, they don't feel seen. I'm proud that North Shore has made a commitment to racial and educational justice. The North Shore Schools Foundation is building our future. Because when we do have those big ideas, when something like the Lit Circles comes across our plate, we have the opportunity to act on that and move our students forward. Supporting the North Shore Schools Foundation is supporting our students and enabling all of those who spend their livelihoods working with students to help better prepare them for our world today and our world tomorrow.
So great to hear from Holly tonight, even though she could not be here with us this evening. A quick tidbit about Holly. She won Innovator of the Year this year. Last year, she applied for a grant through the foundation, but the foundation had to decline the grant because of funding issues. So that is another reason we're here tonight. We should not have to decline these grants. We should be able to support all the teachers who need the support. We cannot let this innovation and this commitment go to waste. We also need strong educators and administrators like our newly named superintendent. With an introduction by Clara. Clara, take it away.
Mr. Michael Tolley was recently selected by the North Shore School Board to serve as the new superintendent for our district. Mr. Tolley served as interim superintendent during the 2022 to 2023 school year. He has worked in public education for over 30 years and transformed the lives of students, their families, and the community. His core values of racial and educational justice, collaboration, transparency, and data-informed decision-making skills have supported districts across the country to make positive change for their students. I've already been personally affected by Mr. Tolley's selection. I'm a member of the Inglemoor High School rowing team. 2 weeks ago, the North Shore School District rowing program was almost shut down due to funding concerns. The program is extremely important to me as a rower because it provided me with a welcoming community and the opportunity to develop my teamwork and sportsmanship skills. Lucky for us, Mr. Tolley is an advocate for the program and was able to get us back up and running in just a couple of days. Mr. Tolley has the vision, skills, and experience to lead and support North Shore School District families and students into the future. Please join me in welcoming Superintendent Tolley to the stage.
Come on. Thank you, Marco. Well, I have to say, it's truly an honor to be able to stand on the stage in front of you all. I mean, community members, as mentioned, there's so many educators in the room, so many staff from North Shore Schools here today. And we have students here, and of course, that most importantly, our students are here representing as well. And of course, we also have the North Shore Schools Foundation. So all of you in the room, thank you all for being here, and thank you for the opportunity to serve as superintendent here in the North Shore School District. It's truly an honor, and it's all about our kids. You know, of course, the light's blinding, so I can't see, but just before coming here, I was at North Shore Middle School, and when I do school visits, and I have to talk about the fact I was at West Hill this morning and then North Shore Middle this afternoon, but when I do school visits, I actually have an opportunity to meet with staff and students and visit classrooms. And I was visiting with students, and of course, they, you know, at the end of the visit, I have questions for them, but they can ask me questions. And at the end of the visit, the question came up, well, how long have you been doing this? And I'm like, okay, so I avoided that question. I basically listed my resume. I didn't give them all the details. But the other question they asked is, well, why do you even want to be a superintendent? What's that all about? And it was very easy to answer. It's about the students. My why is making sure kids get what they need. Absolutely. What, you know, and I learned that early on. As many of you know, I'm originally from the southeast coast, the deep south, people refer to Charleston, South Carolina. And I began teaching as a substitute teacher, actually. I was doing other work at night, so I substitute taught in the daytime, and I got a long-term sub job teaching math. And I discovered it was as much as about teaching the content as about teaching kids, making sure they get what they need to be successful. And I've actually seen the impact of kids or students getting an excellent education and the impact that then has on their families and then what that has on the community. The connection is very clear to me. So when I think about North Shore's mission statement, strengthening our community through excellence in education, there it is. I mean, and that's why all of you are here tonight, because I know that that's a commitment that you have as well. And I thank you for your commitment to the students in North Shore and to public education in general. It is critically important. But it's also important to understand that we can't do this work as a district by ourselves. We have to partner with our community. We have to, one of the best partners we can have here in North Shore, and that's the North Shore Schools Foundation. And so I'm going to try to give you some examples of how the relationship between what you've heard so much of this today around the work that they're doing and how that connects directly to the work of the district. And I like to frame that through our district strategic plan. As many of you know, we have a 5-year strategic plan. We actually had a plan that started in 2017 and went through 2022, and that plan has 5 goals. But that plan over the last year or so, the school board, and school board members, thank you for being here, actually took the time to take a look at that plan and made some adjustments to it. They refreshed the plan. The plan has 5 goals, and right now it has 26 measures, and they did some adjustments to the measures. But the reason I mention it is that plan kind of serves as our promise to the community as to this is what we're going to deliver on for our students. And again, as I said, it's all about our students. So those 5 goals are critically important to the work that I've worked in the role of superintendent. So I want to walk through each of those goals and give you an example of how the work of the North Shore Schools Foundation connects to that. Goal 1 is all about success in the early years. And one prime example is this year we are really focused on making sure we meet one measure in that goal, and that is making sure our students are reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade. So we have a new set of instructional materials, first time in over 10 years that we have a common set of instructional materials for our teachers to teach our students to read. That's a tremendous step forward for us in North Shore. And again, when I was at West Hill this morning, I asked teachers, hey, what's going well? And they said, well, we have a common set of instructional materials. That's working for us. At the same time, though, we know that over the last few years, without that, there's more work that had to be done. North Shore Schools Foundation has been investing in early literacy for our students for years. They have actually funded over 225 classroom libraries over the years. They've invested in, and you heard about it actually a few minutes ago, in all of our elementary libraries, making sure that we have books that we can put in the hands of students. More importantly, putting books in the hands of students that have content that represents their culture. Yes, absolutely. So that's so important that, as was mentioned, for students to be able to see themselves in the materials that they're reading. So thank you, Foundation, for investing in our youngest learners' literacy development. That's critically important. Goal 2 is all about developing responsible, resilient, empathetic learners. So when I think about this one and the connection that the Foundation has been doing, we think about student wellness. And as you know, over the last few years, we've had some major impacts on our students in their mental health, and even going back to when we closed schools in 2020. The North Shore Schools Foundation declared it a crisis and actually made it possible for any family that had a student in North Shore Schools to be able to apply for funds to support immediate needs. And I know it may be too soon to think back to March of 2020, but when that happened, there was a lot of need within our community, and North Shore Schools Foundation was there. During that time, they actually were able to grant $200 to families just to reduce the stress that was occurring at the time. At that time, between March of 2020 through June of 2020, they contributed about $140,000 to our families in this community. Over 700 families relied on that support. That's a clear example, so thank you again to the Foundation for supporting our community. And the direct impact that had on our students is clear. They continue in that area under this particular thing about mental health supports. You heard earlier that they've actually provided supports for our mental health therapists at the elementary level, investing in materials to support our students, because that work continues. We're still recovering from the pandemic, and they're here to support our students in that way. Goal 3 is making sure that our students continue to grow academically, but also to eliminate opportunities and outcome gaps. So the Foundation is there. We have students who, through their efforts, become eligible for regional, state, and national level competitions, but may not have the funds to be able to participate. North Shore Schools Foundation has stepped in and supported that. Another example in this particular area, we have probably one of the most diverse groups of families. We have over 100 languages and dialects spoken in North Shore. And the Foundation actually supports our World Language Library to make sure all across our district, our students are able to access content, again, in their own home languages. So again, thank you for that support. Another example, well, let's go into goal 4 is making sure that we have, or we're cultivating innovative, creative, and critical thinkers. That work is so critically important to the Foundation. As you just heard, they actually recognize and name an Innovative Educator of the Year every year. So again, thank you to Holly Herberson for that work that we just had a video about. That's tremendous work with, and again, support of that. But we also have the Foundation investing in our classrooms. There are classroom grants that also support innovation within every one of our classrooms. You heard about that. And what I haven't actually accessed this yet, there is a Superintendent Innovation Fund to support research and development within the district. I've got to talk to Carmen a little bit more about that one. Okay, so, but again, the Foundation is there to support us. And then the final goal is making sure that our students are ready for lifelong success after graduation. And there are a lot of examples, and I was told to just give one example for each of these, but I was like, I know a few more. So there are a number of examples for example, our career and technical education programming. The foundation has always been there to support that particular program when they need volunteers for those activities and having the open houses and all. The foundation is always there to support that. As you heard earlier there, they partnered with the North Shore Council PTA to put on the first ever virtual program this year. We had over 900 students and family members participate in that virtual career in college fair. Again, thank you to the foundation for that work as well. And I guess the final example, they've actually been serving as a thought partner, because when I have been doing what I called my Listen and Learning Tour earlier this year, we actually found that our families kind of knew that there are some resources out in the district that they can tap into, but there was no one place that all of our families could go to get the information they need. So we've been partnering with the foundation to put together what we're referring to as a Family Engagement Resource Center, so that there's a one-stop shop. So particularly for our students and families that are furthest away from racial and educational justice, we're talking about our students that are learning the English language, our LGBTQ population, our students with disabilities, our students of color. Families need to be able to quickly access information in a timely manner. So we've been partnered with the foundation to figure out how does that look? How can we do? And I'm excited to announce that this spring we're going to be putting that in place so that we can better serve our students and their families. So I'm going to stop because I know there's more to come. So thank you for being here. Thank you for investing in our students. And I just want to thank the foundation for all the work that they do.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Superintendent, for taking care of our kids. You have seen a lot here today. We've heard so much from Superintendent Tully, from all the teachers, from the students, but I want you to get excited about this next speaker tonight. This is Lainey Brackett. As an Inglemoor senior, she is not only planning to graduate with her IB degree, but she's been championing her own nonprofit aimed at student mental health for teens. Isn't that amazing? What I want you to see here is the through line, the possibilities that one student can make, the difference when we all come together through communities, through support, through dedicated teachers and administrators, and of course, an incredible foundation. We're working to make sure that every student can find their passion the same way Lainey has. Lainey Brackett, ladies and gentlemen.
In the time it takes me to finish saying this sentence, someone in this country will have taken their own life. Each one of us is on our own mental health journey. Whether visible, verbalized, or not, we all have a mental health story, either our own or one that has affected us or our families deeply. Hello, my name is Lainey Brackett, and I'm a senior in the IB program at Inglemoor High School. Just like all of you, I have a mental health story, and today I'm here to shed some light on mental well-being. I was diagnosed with anxiety at the age of 5. I couldn't speak in preschool or kindergarten. I was what they like to call a mute. I remember crying almost every morning on our drive to school. Oftentimes, I held onto my mom's car door handle for dear life at drop-off or vomited in the parking lots as anxiety built up and finally overcame me. I went to the doctors regularly and we tried everything: therapy, medications, more doctors, and with time and tools, I learned to mask my discomfort in public and cope, sort of. In first grade, I was frantic because I had to do a PowerPoint presentation in front of the entire class. The topic was super important: frozen yogurt. I was presenting on my favorite flavor. My classmates went about their day, enjoying recess, eating lunch. In contrast, I was so nervous I couldn't even keep food down. Fortunately, I had a therapy appointment that day. I spent that entire 60-minute therapy session practicing my presentation with my therapist and her assorted collection of teddy bears. I hoped to suppress my anxiety for the real deal. She helped me by reminding me that the worst thing that would happen was that I'd forget my lines and actually have to read off the PowerPoint. In the end, I made it through without panicking. In case you're wondering, my favorite flavor is tart. You're probably sitting here now wondering why the heck I'm telling you about tart frozen yogurt. While yes, it's delicious, it was more about demonstrating the simplicity of things that gave me severe anxiety. Anxiety was my biggest enemy and best friend all throughout grade school. Always with me, I could never seem to shake it. And honestly, as a kid, I had no idea that other people were dealing with similar issues. It wasn't until I stumbled upon a resource in 8th grade called TeenLink that my entire trajectory of mental health changed. TeenLink is a mental health crisis line for teenagers in Washington State. It's run solely by teens who answer incoming calls and messages with teens anonymously seeking help. Immediately, I was in awe of the work these courageous volunteers were doing, and I decided to become a trained phone worker. Over the course of 10 weeks, I learned skills through incredibly intense training to become one. 100 hours of training later, I was equipped and ready to help any teen on an array of mental health issues. Answering the phone for TeenLink opened my eyes to the broad impacts of mental health on teens. I spoke with teens about an array of issues, including suicide, eating disorders, drug, and substance abuse. I want to take a minute to share a moment at TeenLink that really stuck out to me and had a profound impact on my perception of mental health. When I was fairly new to TeenLink, I took a call from a girl who told me she was planning on killing herself. Anxious of saying the wrong thing, I carefully walked her through the suicide action steps that I had learned, but nothing seemed to help calm her down. She'd already self-harmed that night and was bleeding. I just remember the feeling of so desperately wanting to be able to do something to help, not just be a voice over the phone. But that's all I had to offer. Thankfully, eventually she was able to call her mom and pursue professional help at the hospital. During this call, I just remember feeling useless trying to help, but eventually realized that by simply listening and being there for her, that was all she needed to call her mom and pursue professional help. And so sometimes that's all people need, someone to listen without action or judgment. TeenLink has offered me insight into the lives of teens in Washington State and helped me better understand my own mental health. Oftentimes, something that shocks people is learning that I'm a perfectionist. In my mind, everything has to be just so. However, after helping people with their own mental health, I think I realized I also needed to do a better job with my own. Thus, I kind of finally prioritized myself. I let myself just sit in bed some nights and do nothing, or take a 30-minute shower. I realized I just don't always have to be on the go. And most importantly, I learned that nothing's ever gonna be perfect, including myself, no matter how hard I try. You have to be able to strike a balance in life between everyday craziness and carving out time to take care of yourself. I wanna share that my anxiety still rides with me every day. I've learned to recognize it, the triggers, and sometimes how to use it to my advantage. I still am and probably always will be a work in progress. But I have learned, and know others will too, that caring for ourselves is not selfish, but a necessity. So I challenge you to think about your forms of self-care and if you take time to prioritize your mental well-being. Because at one point, I certainly didn't. But my story doesn't end there. This idea of self-care resources really inspired me. Today, teens want to confide in their peers, those who understand them and won't give immediate judgment or take action. Because I saw that access to resources for mental health were lacking across my state, school, and community, especially from a teen perspective, I created a mental health club at my school called Care Essential Club. In the Care Essential Club, we nurture a safe, inclusive environment with open-ended discussions about mental health and spread the message that taking time for self-care is essential. We hold seminars about eating disorders, safety planning for someone with suicide ideation, ways to find a dependable adult to confide in, and so much more. This November, we actually held a seminar on anxiety and depression. A local therapist came in and taught students how to better understand and identify their own levels of anxiety. Over 120 students from Inglemoor participated, which was incredibly amazing to see. While this club has made outstanding headway at my school, I wanted to scale my work throughout the community for greater impact. With the assistance and support of both my principal, Mr. Desatels, and Superintendent Dr. Reed, I packaged the Care Essential Club into a detailed club-in-a-box model and published it on the web. That's how I started my own youth mental health nonprofit, Teen Self Health. As I'm sure you have heard, when you start a nonprofit, funding can be quite a challenge. Lucky for me, I discovered the North Shore Schools Foundation early on in my work. Once they started working with me, my donations quickly accelerated. I began to make Care Central's clubs available to schools across the district and Washington State. My goal is to provide access to mental health clubs and resources for any high schoolers who needed it. Today, I've branched into 8 different school districts in Washington State, and I'm excited to continue to scale my work next year at college. In a small way, nurturing this nonprofit helps me cope with the loss of 2 of my family members from suicide and better understand why they did what they did. I want to preface that none of this work in advocacy could have been possible without some amazing role models and organizations who stepped up when it mattered. Now, I'll be perfectly candid. As a teen, it's oftentimes really difficult to find adults who genuinely want to help and listen to the work you're doing. My work could not have been done without the North Shore Foundation, a place that listens to the youth voice. The North Shore Schools Foundation was the first organization that truly wanted to listen and learn and helped me accelerate and amplify my nonprofit into schools. Much of my work's media attention came easily post-COVID. For the most part, I was at the right place at the right time, but it truly could not have been possible without the attention it received from the foundation. I want to just take a second to give special thanks to Carmen and Susan from the foundation. These 2 amazing ladies were the first people who reached out to me and offered to help fund me. They connected me with a network that unlocked me to reach more people than I could honestly ever imagine. With this help, I was able to get my resource recognized officially on the North Shore Mental Health page and in several other school districts. Being backed up by this organization truly changed the game for my advocacy efforts. They mentored me on how to best run my nonprofit, but most importantly, they listened. They listened to my voice, listened to my vision, and helped me turn that vision into a reality. You heard the Youth Advisory Board share the mission of the foundation. I'm proud to say that because from the help of this amazing place, I've been able to stand up for such a vital, important topic and remove stigmas, creating change right in our community. So if you're someone in the audience who believes in supporting youth voice, innovation, and change, know that you are supporting the right organization just for that. Thank you.
Laney, I cannot wait to see what else you come up with. Keep us posted. You are incredible. It's an amazing inspiration, and as we finish our evening here together, we just want to remind you, this is your chance. This is your chance to give back. It's your chance to make a difference at your school. If you've already had a chance to give to this incredible foundation, thank you. We are so grateful for your presence, and I'm not just saying that here for this wonderful foundation, but as a parent, thank you so much for supporting these kids and these teachers. If you haven't had a chance to give, please consider giving. As Superintendent Tolley said, we have a lot of work to do,